Previously, the United States could basically set the price of oil by controlling the dollar. Now who's setting the price of oil? That's Iran.
Larry, I have a question about this concept of petrodollar. It's a lot in the news right now. So this is a three-pronged question, which is interrelated. Can you please explain to our audience what is actually petrodollar is?
Well,
how does it actually work? And where are we in a moment that the US dollar hegemony is about to be significantly eroded?
Yeah, back in 1972, when the U.S. dollar was pegged to the gold, at the time it was like $35 or $42 an ounce. So if you no longer had faith or confidence in the U.S. paper dollar, you could say, "Hey, I want the gold. Give me the gold." Well, what happened was, as a consequence of the Vietnam War and the excessive deficit spending by the United States back then, which was bad, but nothing compared to like what it is today. Oh my goodness. Back then I think the US debt to GDP ratio was something like 35%. Oh my God, today it's over 130% or 120%. So in exchange, Henry Kissinger negotiated a deal with the Saudis saying, "Hey, look, going forward, we'll buy all of your oil with dollars. In fact, you sell all the oil you sell in dollars." And the dollar became, instead of getting gold, you would get oil. And the oil became, the standard method of purchase was using the US dollar. By having the petrodollar, the United States was able to persuade other countries to buy US treasuries. And the United States, therefore, was essentially running up a credit card, but having other people buying up our debt. So we were taking money from Pakistan and from India and from Japan and from China, and that way the United States could do whatever it wanted. It didn't have to worry about paying the bills. I don't know if when you were in college, if you had a credit card, but you can imagine what you might have done if you didn't have to pay for that credit card. If your parents were saying, "Oh yeah, you go ahead, spend on whatever you want, we'll pay for it," you would have had a really good time, right? So, that's how the United States has operated. Well, now over the course of I think it really came to sharpen into clear focus with this special military operation in Ukraine. Where the United States tried to use its control of the dollar as a weapon to punish both Russia and any other country that supported Russia. They were making threats against China. And so that was really the catalyst that brought Russia and China together to say, we've talked about BRICS and an alternative financial environment. Now we're going to get serious about it. We're going to create an alternative financial environment. And to that end, a number of countries have been offloading. They're no longer buying US debt, they're selling it. And I guess one of the reasons that you've got the price of gold falling right now is that so many countries are out trying to sell gold to raise cash that you're flooding the market with supply. And that's been one of the things that's contributed to keeping the downward pressure on gold for right now, even though it's at a historic high. So the petrodollar is the last vestige of U.S. hegemony, U.S. ability to control the world. And that's what is now, basically, think of it this way. Previously, the United States could basically set the price of oil by controlling the dollar. Now who's setting the price of oil? That's Iran. Iran, by controlling 20% of the world output coming out through the Strait of Hormuz, is actually now controlling the dollar.